Welcome back to TechNet Radio. It's IT time, and your hosts Blaine Barton and John Baker chat with Ken Milner and Jeff Morris from the Windows Phone 7 team. In part 1 of this interview, Ken demos Windows Phone 7's interface, the People Hub, voice-enabled features, email, and messaging. Blaine, the mic is yours.
Hello and welcome to IT Time Radio. I'm your host, Blaine Barton, a Senior IT Pro Evangelist with Microsoft. And with me today, I have my co-host, friend and peer, Mr. John Baker, also a Senior IT Pro Evangelist out of Atlanta. How you doing, John?
Doing good. Hanging out in Seattle.
You're in Seattle, huh?
Yep.
It's not raining.
No, not today.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, welcome, John. And with us today, we have Ken Milner, a Mobility Solutions Specialist out of Atlanta, to talk about Windows Phone 7. Welcome, Ken.
Hello, and happy to be here.
Excellent. Glad to have you. So, yeah, your background is quite extensive as being an enterprise account manager with Microsoft before your Mobility Solutions Specialist role. You've had some background with working with VeriSign, it looks like, as a senior account executive. Even before that, bringing IBM to the top of the world with being an account specialist and engineer for them. So that's a little bit about your background. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what you're doing around this exciting new technology around Windows Phone 7?
Yes, well, I've been on the Windows Phone 7 team for the last 2 years, and we're part of the incubation team here at Microsoft. And we work with enterprise customers and account teams to get Windows Phone 7 approved and deployed within our large strategic accounts. We also work to get applications developed for internal adoption on Windows Phone 7 as well.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm kind of interested, before you got into all this technology, and especially with the Windows Phone 7 gadget, how'd you get started in IT? What was your first experience with the computer? How'd you get started in this field?
Well, I'd have to say it was interesting. I was in college in the 80s and I was getting a computer science degree in mainframe programming, and got in on the ground floor of, I would say, the PC revolution, and started working in the computer lab at college, working on PCs, and fell in love with the whole PC marketplace, even though all my friends told me that was crazy. Those are toys, and you're never going to go anywhere in the PC space. I guess they were wrong. But got started in the computer lab in college, and got a co-op job at IBM while still in college, and started doing technical support. And right after college, I worked with IBM for a while and moved to California, lived in Silicon Valley, and worked for some great companies in the computer networking space, and was certified in Novell and 3Com, and did tech support for a while, and eventually throughout the 90s worked at both Digital and Lotus, and got into sales and came to Microsoft about 7 years ago. So it's been a great experience, and have been doing the PC and mobile phone technologies throughout my career.
Excellent.
You said earlier that your job is a mobility solution sales professional. Can you give us, for people out there that don't really know what that role does, can you give us a better idea of exactly what it is that you do?
Yes, well, we work in conjunction with the Microsoft account teams, the enterprise account teams, just like the other solution specialists, and we work to get Windows Phone 7 deployed and approved within our accounts. So we work to identify opportunities for mobile devices and really expand the vision for most accounts beyond just email, so showing the capabilities of Windows Phone 7 when it comes to SharePoint and Office capabilities and social networking capabilities. So it's a lot of education within those accounts, creating vision around the true capabilities of mobile devices, and afterwards getting Windows Phone 7 approved and deployed within those enterprise accounts, and working on line of business applications as well.
So you specialize in Windows Phone. So have you been around with Windows Phone for a while with the previous releases?
Yes, well, I've been in the role for 2 years,
okay.
And so Windows Phone 6.1 or Windows Mobile 6.1 was out at the time. So I've been, I guess, around 3 generations of the whole mobile platform. And we also supported previously the whole embedded Windows Mobile ruggedized devices also. So I've been around, I would say, 3 generations of mobile platforms in a short 2-year time frame.
Okay. What would you say over the previous release with Windows Phone 7, what would you say maybe the top 2 or 3 improvements are that make Windows Phone 7 so much better?
Well, I would say it's like night and day, just from the beauty of the user experience, the performance of the touchscreen devices is instantaneous. It's really best in class performance, even above and beyond, I would say, iPhone and Android devices. There's absolutely no lag. I would say also a simple and intuitive to use user experience with this whole Talent Hub metaphor and the panoramic approach that you use to navigate through the devices. Above and beyond the usability, some of the unique capabilities on Windows Phone 7 are Office integration with the Office Hub, the ability to read and write Office documents seamlessly, just like you do on your PC. And from a consumer experience, things like Xbox Live integration and Zoom integration, those are some of the things that make the overall Windows Phone 7 unique. It's a great device for both work and play, and all of the scenarios that people utilize. When I talk to customers often, many customers aren't satisfied with their device. If they have certain devices, they say it's a great device for work, but they carry another device, or they prefer another device for play. Conversely, customers that carry, say, an iPhone or an Android device might say, hey, it's great for music and games, but it's not so great when it comes to Outlook and work and Office documents. With Windows Phone 7, you don't have to make that compromise. You've got a great device for all scenarios, so it's a device that you're going to enjoy 24 hours a day.
Yeah, one of my favorites is Netflix. I have the Netflix app on mine. So.
Yes, I use it all the time.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. Hey, you got a demo for us?
Yes, I absolutely have a demo. There's a demo. We have capabilities that we show to customers, and if you guys don't mind, I'll kind of walk you through some of the scenarios that we generally show to our customers and partners. First off, you see something that's very unique, and it's just the lock screen on Windows Phone 7, and this really what we call smart design. Even before I unlock my phone, I've got some very useful information here. I've got my next upcoming appointment, or my current appointment. I've got my missed email messages, as well as text messages and voicemail messages. So even before I unlock my phone and go into my phone scenario, I've got some very relevant information, and that's really around the work that we've done with Windows Phone 7 and smart design, and making it really easy to get in and get out and get on with your life, and finding useful information in your device. So let me go unlock my phone. And as I unlock my phone, you'll see the new user experience, this whole Talent Hub metaphor, and we call these live tiles, which are dynamically updated with very useful and relevant information. You see right here, I've got my People Hub, I've got my various email hubs. You can have multiple email accounts, whether there are multiple Exchange accounts or Gmail or Hotmail or any POP3 email accounts. The way I have my phone organized is really at the top of the screen. It's kind of my work life, my day life, the things I do from 8 to 5. And really, if you scroll down to the bottom here, it's really my after hours applications, my Slingbox, Netflix, my YouTube, checking stock quotes, and games and music. So you can customize this user interface any way you want to, so you can really make it yours. So for example, if I did not want this push BI application here, I could press and hold, I could move it, I can unpin it from the home screen, and I can really customize the phone to really customize it in a way that makes it very relevant for my work-life scenario. So I'm sure you guys all have phones and you've done some customization. You can pin anything to the home screen, including a person. You see I've got one of my peers that I'm working on a project with. I can also pin a web page. So here I've got a CRM page that I can pin to the home screen. So I can pin my settings, I can pin a web page, and of course I can pin a person or an application to the home screen as well. So the phone is very flexible and customizable. You can change the colors and even which tiles appear. And say there are some applications that come pre-installed on the phone, a mobile operator application that you don't want, that you're not taking advantage of. You can also remove that application from the phone in memory, so you can really customize every aspect of the Windows Phone 7 device. All right, so let's take a look through and let's step through some of the capabilities of the phone. And where we spend most of our time with mobile devices, studies have shown, is that we spend about 60% of our time doing email. We spend the other 20% or so in applications, and the other 20% doing web surfing. So let's look at the common scenarios that most users utilize during the workday. And a core area of the phone is the People Hub. It's where I normally go for contacts. And if you look at the Windows Phone People Hub, you can immediately see not only do I have my contact information, but I also have information on Facebook updates. For example, you can see one of my coworkers just updated his Facebook status. So even though I have a standalone Facebook application, even when I go into the People Hub, I can also get updates. And this is very relevant and much more relevant for me as to the way I use phones, as opposed to jumping in and out of non-integrated applications. You've got integrated experiences with Windows Phone, and it makes for a much more enjoyable experience with the device. I also look at my people, the people that I interact with on a daily basis. So here's my my contact list. I've got all of the contacts that I work with. If I needed to do a search, I have a dedicated search button, and this is a nice point that every Windows Phone 7 device has a home button, a back button, and a dedicated search button. So regardless of if you have a Samsung, an LG, or an HTC device, you're also going to have the same buttons on the phone. This makes it very easy to switch between devices, but it also makes it easier for application developers to develop apps and know that they're going to work on any Windows Phone 7 device. The other benefit is that when updates do become available, we can easily push those updates out to devices and not have to worry about fragmentation in the marketplace. So the smart design, the hardware specifications that we've set have really made it very easy for users and developers to really maximize the value of the phone. So if I wanted to search for a contact, I can press the search button, and if I wanted to search for Jeff Morris, I can see him right here and quickly get to Jeff, call Jeff, but I won't disturb Jeff right now since I know he's busy. So that's just a quick look at the search capabilities in Windows Phone 7 and the People Hub. It's also nice to know that with Windows Phone 7, all phones are voice enabled. You don't have to install an additional app that's not tightly integrated. So if I press and hold the center or the Windows or Home button, I can open up a contact via a voice command. I can do a Bing search via a voice command, or I can open up an application via voice. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to press and hold. Find Starbucks. And if I had a GPS signal, it's going to find that contact. So let's give that a try. Find Starbucks. So as you can see, it's going to do a search, and it's searching the web right now, and since I'm indoors and I don't have a GPS signal, it's not going to find the local contacts. But if I had a GPS signal, it would give me the local restaurant, any information, even a review. Likewise, I often use this feature to search for my next flight, or I can open up an application. So, for example, I could say open calendar and find and open up an application that way. And of course, you can also use that to call a contact in the event that you don't have the ability to use your hands. So voice integration is built into the device. You don't have to download an app. Let's look at one of the more common scenarios, and that's email and messaging. So we're going to look at the Outlook experience with Windows Phone 7. And as I previously indicated, you can have multiple Exchange accounts. So imagine a scenario where a customer has contractors, or for whatever reason someone needs access to multiple Exchange accounts. There's virtually an unlimited number of Exchange accounts that you can have on the phone. So you can have multiple Exchange accounts, Gmail, POP3, and so on. So now we're going to look at the email experience, which is a very common scenario with phones. And if you go into email, it's very simple and intuitive to use email. So with email, what I want to do on a mobile device is triage my messages. And so with Windows Phone 7, you can easily get in and triage your messages, and you can sort by all of your messages, unread, flagged, and urgent. So it makes it real easy and intuitive to get in and act quickly on the things that you need to prioritize from a phone perspective. The touch experience is fantastic. I can easily navigate. I can sort through my messages. If I needed to categorize or move messages around or select messages, I can just tap the left-hand side of the screen, for example. There are multiple ways to do it, but if I wanted to move a message to a folder or delete a message, I can easily select one or multiple messages to perform specific actions on those messages. So let's take a look at specific messages. A good percentage of our enterprise customers are using a technology called SharePoint for collaboration, portal, document management. And as you can see, I've got various messages here that I would normally see on my phone or PC. I've got attachments with some messages. I've got links to proposals. And when the average customer sees a message with an attachment, that's really a no-no. And let's see what happens with Windows Phone 7 when I've got a message with an attachment here. So I'm going to open up a message, and I've got a PowerPoint attachment. With the majority of smartphones, messages with an attachment, you can't act upon those until you get back to your PC. But with Windows Phone 7, I can open up the attachment. In this case, it happens to be a PowerPoint attachment. And not only do I get the message, but as I transition through the slides, you can see with the rich integration, the slides build just like they do on my PC. And so with the whole Office experience and the Office apps, you've got full fidelity versions of PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and OneNote built into the ROM on the phone. You don't have to go out and install or download an additional application. So if you look at that from a productivity perspective, when enterprises see those capabilities, it just opens up a whole new set of scenarios that they can take advantage of, because not only is the phone a device for looking at simple email on, hey, I can get Office attachments, I can read those attachments, and I can edit those Office documents as well. And that's very compelling for the vast majority of our customers. So we just took a look at an attachment. I also see a document that has a link to a proposal. With most mobile devices, I probably wouldn't even open up that document, but that's not the case with Windows Phone 7 here. So I look at this document, and it happens to have a link to a SharePoint document. If I was using any other device other than Windows Mobile or Windows Phone, I would be out of luck. But if I click on this link with Windows Phone 7, it's opening up this document that resides behind my corporate firewall. and going to my SharePoint site and opening up a document. And we'll just pause there for a second because that's very powerful. If you look at the capabilities and the scenarios that you can enable from this device now, it's fantastic in helping organizations better leverage their enterprise assets to open up all of those documents that reside behind the firewall on SharePoint. So not only, for example, can I open up this document, but I can read, I can edit, and I can quickly search that document. I can even add comments to that document and save it back out to the SharePoint site. So imagine a scenario where you may not have your PC. You might be on the beach, or you may be away from work, but there's an urgent message that you need to act on. With your Windows Phone 7 device, you're never offline or not enabled to perform important tasks because you've got access to documents on SharePoint which reside behind the firewall. And that's a very unique and compelling experience and scenario for the majority of our customers. So common workflow scenarios, and now when customers are really looking at designing their SharePoint infrastructure, they don't have to exclude mobile devices. Mobile devices are full-fledged citizens when it comes to those workflow scenarios. So we looked at a SharePoint link. Let's look at another common scenario, and that's calendar invitations. And you wouldn't believe the number of complaints or the level of frustration that exists when it comes to the overall calendar experience in mobile devices. People make a tremendous sacrifice when it comes to a calendar invitation, when it comes to mobility. But you can see with Windows Phone 7, I have an invitation from one of my colleagues here, and the calendar invitation comes in just like an email message. And with this smart design, you can see even before I open up the calendar invitation, I have some intelligence here. So it's showing me embedded in the message that I have a conflict before I even open up my calendar. And I also have an address. So let's open up this calendar invitation and resolve this conflict. And this is a common scenario that with the vast majority of mobile phones, you're going to have some challenges in managing your calendar with most devices. So if I open up my calendar, you'll see once again smart design. I can have multiple calendars integrated into one view and have all of those calendars with a different color code. So this is a great way to balance my work life and my personal life, or even multiple exchange calendars. So if I go into the meeting where I have a conflict, I immediately see that I've got some rich calendar information here. I can see all of my meeting details. I can take a look at the attendees, which is very important. Who's going to be in the meeting? In the event that I'm running late for a meeting, you see the little icon at the bottom of the screen with the running person. If I'm running late for a meeting, I can immediately send a note to the meeting organizer. I can send a note or a text message to the meeting organizer indicating that I'll be late. As a sales guy, I often use this feature to just let a customer know that I'm in the lobby. And so you can use those capabilities for more than, hey, I'm running late, but just to send a quick text message to the meeting organizer or everyone attending that, hey, I'm here, I'm in the lobby, come and pick me up. And I can edit the actual text that's in that message. So we'll take a quick look there. So, and if I wanted to change the message, I could easily do so. So while that's a simple scenario, it's very common. And the fact that with Windows Phone 7, we've made it easy to act upon that scenario and perform common and intuitive tasks, it's very compelling. Also notice that I haven't jumped in and out of separate applications. I went straight from Outlook straight to Calendar. And the next common scenario is that often I have an address. I've got to navigate to a specific location, and I don't necessarily have to cut and paste the address from my calendar app or my email to my mapping application. With this integrated design with Windows Phone 7, I click on a link, and the phone is smart enough to know that this is an address. It could be a phone number or a link to a website, and it's going to underline that for me. So if I click on the address here, Clicking on the address, and it's going to take me straight to my map view. And if I wanted to go from map view, I could drill down easily from map view to satellite view. Smart design with the dedicated Bing Maps included. And if I wanted to go from map view to satellite view to navigating to that meeting, I just click on the navigation, and I can navigate to that address. And it's going to take me about 3 days to drive to Seattle. So guys, I've got to leave. So just joking here. So smart design, common scenarios that we use on a daily basis are easily enabled. Tight integration, as you can anticipate, between the Outlook experience and your Exchange backend experience. Tight integration with the Outlook Office applications as well, with full fidelity capabilities of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote. And while we're talking about those scenarios, let's take a quick look at the Office Hub.